Today, I will tell you the story of two countries that had great potential in the same century but reached completely different outcomes: Japan and Brazil. When we go back to the middle of the 20th century, Brazil was one of the most fortunate countries in the world in terms of natural resources. It had vast agricultural lands, oil, minerals, forests, and a young population. Japan, on the other hand, was poor in natural resources, had limited land, was located on an earthquake zone, and after World War II was almost completely destroyed. Cities were bombed, industry collapsed, and the country went through a deep trauma. There was hunger, there was despair, but at that moment, Japan made a very clear decision. This country would rise again, and the only way was discipline. The education system was completely transformed. Children were taught responsibility from an early age, work culture was placed at the center of society, and quality became a necessity, not a choice. The state worked hand in hand with industry, long-term development plans were created, companies were guided toward sustainable growth instead of short-term profit. In Japan, mistakes were not seen as shame, but as part of improvement. Everyone became part of the same system. Process mattered more than individuals. Over time, Japan became one of the most reliable countries in the world in automotive, electronics, and high technology. Japanese products became associated not with cheapness, but with quality. Now let us look at Brazil. Brazil was not destroyed by war. Its cities were not bombed, its industrial facilities were not eliminated. Instead, nature was generous. But Brazil faced a different problem: instability. Government policies changed frequently, economic direction shifted with each administration, and long-term plans could not be sustained. Populist rhetoric dominated, production was replaced by consumption, imports were made easier, and domestic industry was not protected. The education system could not be strengthened consistently, inequality increased. Bureaucracy became complex, corruption eroded trust, and investors became hesitant. Brazil experienced periods of rapid growth, but this growth was never permanent because the system was weak. Every economic shock made the country more fragile. While crises created more discipline in Japan, in Brazil it created uncertainty and lack of confidence. Today, Japan is one of the largest economies in the world, a high-technology exporter with global brands and a symbol of trust worldwide. Brazil is still described as a country of potential, meaning a nation that has everything but struggles to turn it into sustainable success. The story of these two countries teaches us a very clear lesson. Natural resources can provide an initial advantage, but they are not enough. The real difference is culture, system, and discipline. Japan managed to build order out of scarcity. Brazil struggled to maintain stability in abundance. Same century, same world, but completely different results. Because what makes the difference is not what you have, but the decisions you make.